Once upon a time, a town mouse invited her cousin, a country mouse, to visit her in the city. The country mouse arrived and the two friends had a lovely visit. For lunch, the country mouse served wheat stalks, roots, and acorns, and they dipped them into some cold water, which made a very refreshing drink. The town mouse did not touch the food for a while, just nibbled a little of this and a little of that, and by her manner made it very plain that she ate the simple food only to be polite. After the meal, the friends had a long talk. Or rather, the town mouse talked about her life in the city, and the country mouse listened. Then they went to bed in a cozy nest in the hedgerow and slept in quiet and comfort until morning. In her sleep, the country mouse dreamed she was a town mouse, and all the food she had seen and smelled during her visit appeared before her in great abundance. She could dine on delicacies and have all the luxuries and delights of city life that her friend had described for her. So the next day, when the town mouse asked the country mouse to go home with her to the city, she gladly said yes. When they reached the mansion in which the town mouse lived, they found on the table in the dining room the leavings of a very fine banquet. There were sweetmeats and jellies, pastries and delicious cheeses. Indeed, the most tempting foods that a mouse can imagine. The country mouse's eyes sparkled with delight. She was just about to nibble a dainty bit of pastry when she heard a cat mew loudly and scratch at the door. In great fear, the mice scurried to a hiding place where they lay quite still for a long time, hardly daring to breathe. When at last they ventured back to the feast, the door opened suddenly, and in came the servants to clear the table, followed by the house dog. The country mouse stopped in the town mouse's den only long enough to pick up her carpet bag and umbrella. "You may have luxuries and dainties that I have not," she said as she hurried away, "but I prefer my plain food and simple life in the country with the peace and security that go with it." The town mouse sighed as she watched her cousin disappear down the hole. "All the delicacies in the world," she said, "are not worth the anxiety I feel in having to guard them." And so the town mouse returned to her simple life in the country, feeling that poverty with security is better than plenty in the midst of fear and uncertainty. Once upon a time, there were two mice who lived at opposite ends of the country. One was a town mouse who lived in a big house in the town, and the other was a country mouse who lived in a little cottage in the country. The town mouse had plenty of food and comfortable lodgings, but the country mouse had to work hard for her food and was always afraid of being caught by a hawk or an owl. One day, the country mouse was gathering grain in the barn when she heard a voice that said, "Why do you work so hard? Come live with me in the town and I will give you all the food you can eat." The country mouse thought about this for a moment. "Well," she said finally, "I've always wanted to see what it's like to live in a town, so I think I'll take you up on your offer." And so the two mice set off for the town. The town mouse led the way, showing off how brave she was by running along the tops of the walls, while the country mouse scampered along the ground, keeping out of sight of the cats and dogs. When they finally reached the town mouse's house, the country mouse was amazed. It was a huge mansion with tall walls and strong doors that were barred at night. "Oh, I wish I could live here," she sighed. "I'm afraid there are too many cats and dogs," she added, looking nervously around. The town mouse just laughed. "Don't be silly," she said. "There aren't any cats or dogs in this house. And besides, if there were, they couldn't get near us because the humans would see them first." The country mouse believed her, so she agreed to stay in the house. The town mouse showed her around, and then they sat down to dinner. The town mouse spread a cloth on the table and placed a dish of milk, some bread, cheese, and fruit before her friend. The country mouse had never seen such a feast, and she ate until she could eat no more. Then the town mouse took her on a tour of the house, showing her where to find the best food and the softest places to sleep. The country mouse was beginning to think that city life was everything the town mouse had promised it would be, when suddenly she heard a crash and a scream. The town mouse froze, her eyes wide with terror. "Quick," she whispered, "hide in this hole or you'll be killed." The country mouse didn't need to be told twice. She scurried to the hole and hid. Just then, a huge dog appeared, sniffing the air. The town mouse held her breath and prayed he wouldn't find her. After a while, the dog wandered off, and the town mouse came out of hiding. "That," she said, "was close. If he had found me, I would have been finished." The country mouse peeped out of the hole and said, "I don't think I could stand living like this. All this running and hiding and sneaking around, it's too much for me. I'd rather live in my little cottage in the country where I can walk around without being afraid." The town mouse sighed. "I wish I could do that too. But I was born in this house, and I can't remember a time when I wasn't afraid of being eaten by a cat or a dog." "Well," said the country mouse, "if you can't come live with me in the country, then I guess I'll just have to make the best of it here." At least there's plenty of food and no one bothering us. And so the country mouse settled down in the town, and the two friends continued to visit each other as often as they could. The end. Did you like this story? If you liked it, follow our new channel, Kid Fable, for more exciting stories.